Welcome to FHA Weekly, your one-stop program on how to secure affordable homes. I am Ituno Kolawole.
The Federal Housing Authority has intensified its enforcement against illegal developments, halting construction on a disputed plot of land allocated to serving ambassadors over 2 decades ago. Officials of the authority said the land legally belongs to an allottee who fulfilled all statutory obligations, obtained the necessary approvals, and remains the recognized owner. They alleged that another individual unlawfully commenced construction on the property despite repeated enforcement notices. Speaking during the enforcement exercise, the General Manager, Partnership and Zonal Coordination and Special Advisor Technical to the Managing Director, Architect Peter Panachi, said the authority had consistently served notices to the developer. He said that construction continued outside official working hours and on weekends in an attempt to evade enforcement. Architect Panachi stressed that the authority would not tolerate any form of illegal occupation or development on its property, warning that anyone violating its regulations would eventually face legal consequences.
The bone of contention here is an illegal developer building on a land that is not his. This land historically was allocated then about 20 years ago to serving ambassadors. And this particular land belongs to somebody that has made all her payments and even gotten approval to develop. But unfortunately, somebody else is developing on the property. So we will be serving this person notices all this while, and they have refused to heed.
All right, sir. For our documentation for that time.
Addressing individuals who arrived at the site claiming ownership of the land, the official advised them to present their claims through the appropriate channels by submitting original letters of allocation, approved building plans, and evidence of statutory payments, including ground rent, for verification. He further urged prospective property buyers to conduct proper searches and obtain official confirmation from the authority before purchasing or developing any land to avoid costly disputes.
At least we expect that if you show us originals of the letters of allocation, which will confirm it is authentic or otherwise, show us the building plan approval obtained from Federal Housing Authority for him to carry out this construction. Those are the documents we need for now. Also show us evidence of payment that have been made over this property, the land, over the years in terms of ground rent and other sundry charges. Once we see that we authenticate those payments, authenticate the letters of allocation and the likes of it, okay. But we know from our records, he's not the rightful owner. If you want to acquire property, come to the office. Conduct your search. Be advised appropriately. And you won't fall into this kind of mess. Do the right thing. Just do the right thing. The authority is there to listen to you.
Also speaking, the Deputy General Manager, Planning and Survey and Head of Enforcement, Mohammed Labaran, described the development as unfortunate, noting that construction had commenced without valid ownership documents or development approval. He reaffirms that the FHA remains committed to protecting legally allocated properties and enforcing compliance with established regulations.
It's an unfortunate incident, a situation where somebody comes into an estate and starts developing a site that doesn't belong to him without valid documents and valid approval. The authority must have to come in to bring sanity, and that's what we are doing today.
The Federal Housing Authority says it will continue to strengthen enforcement measures against illegal developments while urging the public to verify all land documents through the appropriate officers before acquiring or developing any property.
On this edition of FHA 101, I had a chat with the General Manager, Infrastructure Maintenance, Architect Lawal Babale, and he shared with us some of the measures in which FHA uses to maintain its estates nationwide. First off, congratulations on your promotion. I'd like for you to explain to, because I'm sure the audience at home are wondering what infrastructure maintenance does for the authority. So can you share with us the core responsibility of your department?
Okay, thank you for having me this evening. The infrastructure maintenance is a department under the project implementation division, and our core responsibilities includes ensuring the infrastructural facilities within all the FHA estates in Nigeria are functional, safe, and sustainable throughout the life cycle of the infrastructures. It's the responsibility of the department to maintain road networks, drainages, soakaway septic tanks, water facilities, electrical, mechanical installations, and government facilities.
Okay, so I'm sure that a lot of people assume that once construction is done, that's the end, nothing else happens after. So can you tell us what exactly the importance of infrastructure maintenance and basically after sales maintenance also?
Most people assume the moment the construction work is completed, that's all. But that is construction work, that's just the beginning of it. There is a need for periodic maintenance to salvage and maintain the quality, the aesthetics, and all other qualities of the project. Now, periodic maintenance saves cost of maintenance, future maintenance, and it ensures the integrity of the project.
Okay, so earlier you mentioned that you do the mechanical and electrical maintenance. So can you tell us the approach in which you use to identify these issues, and also how do you resolve them?
First and foremost, identification of these issues is in two ways. One, we do our routine site inspections. We go around to see where there are defects, where there are problems. Now, we propose solutions to them. The second approach is allottees / resident associations identify these defects and they report to the authority directly in writing through the managing director, chief executive, who in turn directs the relevant executive director to act and report back with recommendations for further implementation.
So how exactly, let's say for instance, if an estate has drainage blockage, how do you tackle this kind of situation? And also in terms of electrical issues, how do you tackle them?
When we get this information, we collaborate with other relevant engineering departments, mechanical, electrical departments, and put our heads together and move into action. That's the in-house. Where these facilities are external facilities, we collaborate with service providers For example, AEDC, FCT Water Board, Abuja Environmental Protection Board. We do regular meetings and site inspection with these relevant infrastructure bodies. And if it's beyond our scope, they handle it. But if it's within us, we can execute it either through direct labor or award of contract to solve the problem.
From your experience so far, what would you say is the major cause for, or major factor that contributes to buildings or properties being deteriorating? What would you say is the common factor?
There are environmental factors,
such as
rainfall, flooding. Then there are human-made activities, inappropriate disposal of refuse into waterways, indiscriminate dumping of refuse into gutters, into streams.
How do you ensure that you preserve this infrastructure after maintenance? How does your department ensure that? And basically to make sure that the lifespan of FHA infrastructure is very lasting. How do you do that?
Well, right from the onset, we ensure that we adhere to standard engineering regulations, right from our design to our specification of materials. Any contractor that is coming to execute our work will be given the standard requirement, engineering requirement for materials, testing, and all other things. Periodic inspection of this infrastructure so that we nip in the bud any manifestation of defects, we quickly address it so that it will not degenerate into very bad condition.
With the current administration, would you say that there has been improvements in how infrastructure is being maintained by the authorities?
Significantly. Before, we used to neglect infrastructure. It could be there for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years. You submit several reports and there is no action taken on it. If you would have noticed, in Zuba, there are failed portions of road network, but we have quickly moved and rehabilitated and even installed vehicle barrier for heavy-duty vehicles cannot pass there. 3rd and 4th Avenue last year was in terrible state. But the MD chief executive, through a partnership arrangement with a developer that is into construction and road work, quickly moved in during the Christmas break and rehabilitated 3rd Avenue and 4th Avenue, which is very excellent and functional now.
I know that some Nigerians might be confused on how drainages affect roads. So can you also still expatiate on that?
Yes. Drainages are meant to transport water to major disposal channels, to streams, to rivers. When it's blocked by sand, by debris, the water will overflow onto the road surface. And these are materials, and over time, you see the road being submerged, completely submerged. When there is heavy volume of downfall, you look at, you don't even see the road. So over time, if this submerged road, if it's submerged for 1-2 hours or so, it starts affecting the asphalt and it starts disintegrating, and a pothole starts manifesting, and like that. That is how.
So I asked earlier, does the size of the drainage also affect how much overflow can go through?
Yes, it does.
So is FHA going to be doing in the future, doing things to make sure that they increase the size of the drainages provided?
No, the sizes of our drainages are adequate. We don't do drainages without design. We know the volume, the anticipated volume of water. But like I said, the blockage comes as a result of sand and other debris blocking. It's okay if it's blocked, but there has to be periodic maintenance. That is what we call desilting. And like I said, maintenance of infrastructure is not only the responsibility of government. Every owner, house owner, plot owner, shop owner should, on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, desilt, remove the debris in front of his property.
So what role will you say that preventive maintenance plays compared to reactive maintenance?
Well, preventive maintenance is very, very critical, is key. When you stop something from happening, it's very, very important. It saves you money, it saves you time, it elongates the lifespan of your property and all that. Compared to reactive. Reactive, it's coming at a time probably you are not even buoyant. You have to do more work. You have to inconvenience yourself and other allottees and so on and so forth.
What would you say you are hoping to do better in your department?
We are hoping that our intervention in the maintenance of road networks all over Nigeria is going to commence in earnest, because some of our estates are in dire need of road networks, maintenance of road networks. Allottees have been writing, but the problem is that road construction is capital intensive. And like I said, government cannot do it alone. You know, we are not on budget. We are hoping that, just like we did in Gwarimpa, we are going to find good partners as developers, that we will partner with them. We will give them incentive. If they are applying for development permit approval, we can give them a discounted approval. Okay, since you are into construction and you have your equipment, come and do this length of road for us. Then we give you a rebate for your approval.
For your stakeholders, what maintenance culture do you want them to inhabit? And also, what would you like to say to the management?
For our stakeholders, they should understand that infrastructure maintenance is everybody's business. They are stakeholders. These properties belong to them. So if there is going to be any disaster, it's going to affect them. They should see government property as their own property. No indiscriminate disposal of refuse, and they should report promptly any defects they see around their environment to the authority.
And to management?
I want to say thank you to the managing directors, led management. They have been very supportive. They have promptly met all our requests for maintenances and interventions. They should extend it to all of our other estates, because residents are ready to pay ground rent, to pay development charges if they see that their infrastructure is being maintained. There is an association of residents in Blue Bay. They have been meeting with us. They have been promising, if you can do First Avenue for us, we are promising you we will organize and collect whatever revenue you charge us and submit it to the authority. I am thanking the management for all the ones they have done. They should continue to do more. And by the grace of God, FHA will be back to its place.
Thank you for joining us today, sir.
You're welcome, Itunu.
Up next is the voucher.
No, I think social housing is better. The poverty rate in Nigeria is increasing by the day. So if they can build house with minimum standard and at cheaper rate, it will be beneficial to majority of Nigerians. Spread it across the federation, because the poverty rate is across the country, not only in Abuja or in any particular state. So they should engage people, developers for mass housing across the state.
The one that is far better is that the one that you rent to own, where you pay some money, they will give it to you. Maybe after a while, you're able to pay instrumentally, then you cannot become your own property. So that's what can help reduce this issue of landlord and tenants in Abuja. Because you see a lot of cases being caught, especially some people are own estate developer, they rented houses, but the tenants are giving headache. At the end of the day, they find themselves, even that property that the person wants to make money, he cannot even realize what he spent to invest on that property. But if they could subsidize and make it to be rent to whole, it would have been more. In that person, that's okay. We're serious and pay, so that after it was just like a higher purchase.
Planning to develop on your land within an FHA estate? Here's everything you need to know about why you need a building approval and common mistakes to avoid. Building approval is not just the paperwork. It is your first step to ensure your structure meets planning, safety, and environmental standards. Here are the common mistakes that can delay or deny your building approval. Your building deserves a strong foundation. For more inquiries, contact our customer support or visit www.fha.gov.ng. FHA, uniting Nigerians through housing.
For more enquiries, you can visit our website on www.fha.gov.ng, or you can engage with us on all social media platforms at FHA Nigeria. I remain Itunu Kolawole. See you in the next one.